Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We're in the midst of a recruiting dead period. Things kind of slow down, but that doesn't stop the news from coming in. Camps all around the country, like the Under Armour Next series that kicked off this past weekend in Atlanta. This is directly from their website. It says to be the best, athletes must train and compete with the best. The Under Armour Next Camp series provides that opportunity to thousands of aspiring All-Americans in key regions across the country. Both high school and middle school athletes demonstrate their abilities through position-specific football drills and combine training. The chosen few will earn the right to play in the All-American and future games in Orlando, Florida. Now, they were in Atlanta this past weekend. They're going to be in Dallas this upcoming weekend, and then February the 23rd in Orlando, March the 2nd, Miami, March the 9th, New Orleans, March the 30th, Nashville. These camps go on all across the country, all the way up through July. And where this, means something to us is there are guys that Tennessee is targeting, Tennessee is recruiting, and they were at these camps, so media shows up. We got some intel. Could Tennessee be flipping an elite prospect from Alabama? We're going to get into that. We're going to look at two guys on the defensive side of the ball, but I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Hey, we'll keep it quick. We'll keep it quick. Thumbs up, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. If you like what we do, hit the join button. You can donate $1 per month. And join us tonight, live, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be playing EA Sports College Football. Tennessee plays Kentucky on the basketball courts. We'll be talking about that. We'll hang out. It's a good time tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, so come join us. But let's talk a little recruiting here. One of the guys that was at the Under Armour Next Series camp, Zion Gibson, a four-star corner, 6'1", 174 pounds, out of the state of Alabama, ranked 72nd nationally. Now, look at this. The guys you have seen me talk about over the last couple of weeks, last month or two, they're elite prospects. Yes, I use that word a lot, but when you're talking about on 300 guys inside the on 300, you look at who's committed to Tennessee. They've already signed three guys or got commitments from three guys ranked inside the on 300, and we are in the month of February. They are recruiting a different level of talent. I said this last year in the class of 25. It is even a wider net, more elite talent in the class of 26. Now, when you're recruiting guys like this, you're in big boy battles. You're going against the Alabamas, the Ohio States, the big boys of college football. But the more Tennessee continues to target elite talent, they just have to get their fair share. Can they close out that top 5 class? I don't know. We're going to find out. But again, I want to talk about Zion Gibson. Let me switch over, actually get his profile here on the screen so you guys can take a look at it. A 4-star corner, again, out of the state of Alabama. He committed to Alabama back on December the 24th over Auburn, Miami, and Tennessee. Now, he was at the Auburn Next Series event this past weekend. Charles Power over at On3 actually listed him as one of the top performers from that camp. This is what he had to say. Says Zion Gibson had a good workout at the Under Armour Atlanta. The 6', 175-pounder's quickness and refined footwork in drills caught our eye. Gibson showed a smooth and easy back pedal and was able to fire out and break on the ball at a high level. The Alabama pledge held up well in the one-on-one reps we caught. One of his highlights came when defending a wheel route early on in the period. Gibson read the route, stayed in the receiver's hip pocket, downfield, making the forced incompletion look easy. Now, this is from that On3 article that I showed there earlier. Said, Gadsden City corner Zion Gibson committed to Alabama on December the 24th, but he will take visits. The only official visit the 4-star has scheduled is to Tennessee on June the 13th. Here's the quote from Gibson. It says, Tennessee is recruiting me the hardest right now. I have my official visit booked for June the 13th. They were the first SEC offer. They have recruited me and my family hard from day one. Them being with me from the start says a lot. Have a good relationship with the coaches, and their game day atmosphere is insane. Now, he talks about the relationship with the coaches. Coach Heupel also heavily involved in his recruitment, and I think that speaks to how much of a priority Zion Gibson is when Josh Heupel gets involved on the defensive side of the ball. We've seen that before. You can say there's no loyalty in college football, right? A commitment means nothing. Why commit and then go on and take these official visits? Again, committed back on Christmas Eve. Now, is it about having a moment, having your time? We're going to talk about another prospect here in a second that wants to commit on his birthday. But spoiler alert, he also wants to take visits. So, it's fine. Whatever these kids want to do, it's their moment. But I never really understood. Like, you enjoy the process. Enjoy your recruitment. Take visits. But I've never really understood the commitment early then going through that process. So, again, the article says he goes on to say Auburn, Georgia, and Miami are all still involved, as well as Tennessee. But it says Auburn and Tennessee viewed as the biggest threats to Alabama. Again, going to visit on June the 13th. He's also going to set up to the official visits to those other schools mentioned, Miami, Auburn, Georgia, and then, of course, Alabama. Ryan Callahan of Vols 247 said Gibson, an Alabama commitment, chose the Tide over Auburn and Tennessee on December the 24th, but the Vols haven't stopped pursuing him. Said he expects to visit them again this spring. Said he also plans to return to the Alabama and Auburn this spring, with the Crimson Tide set to host him for the spring game in April. Said he intends to take official visits to all three schools. Goes on to say he's already visited Tennessee several times, has built strong connections with the Vols senior defensive analyst Chop Harbin. Imagine that, Coach Chop out there doing work in recruiting. Gibson said he will probably take about 5 official visits in all, but it's safe to say Tennessee is one of the teams with a realistic shot at stealing him away from Alabama. Chad Simmons posted on VolQuest yesterday, and this is going to kind of transition us to the next prospect I want to talk about. He says Zion Gibson speaks very, very highly of UT and the staff. The Vols are in this. Tennessee is in play also for Jordan Edmonds, and he will take visits, but with his commitment date set, Bama has the buzz for next week. But again, listen, this will be the one that goes into the fall. He is an elite cornerback. See, I'm not the only one. Excuse me. I'm not the only one that throws that word elite around. Chad Simmons also throwing around. But Jordan Edmonds is set to commit next weekend. Sounds like Alabama is out front, but let's take a look here. You can see on the screen, he was also at the Under Armour Next event this past weekend in Atlanta. Charles Power of On3 actually named him the On3 MVP of the camp. Here's what he said. Jordan Edmonds turned in a stellar showing at Under Armour Atlanta. The corner and defensive back groups were the deepest on hand, and Edmonds was the clear top performer of the bunch. The 6'2.5", 175-pounder flashed outstanding fluidity throughout the workout. He made easy work of position drills and was great during the one-on-one period. Edmonds took a bunch of one-on-one reps and gave up very little through the air. He got things going with the pass breakup against On3 wide receiver Nayland Scott. Edmonds had no issue sticking with shifty wide receivers in the slot, effortlessly flipping his hips while moving at high speeds. Later came down with an interception while defending a wheel route, doing a great job of turning to locate the football. Edmonds' combination of size, elite length, fluidity, and ball skills made him an easy choice for the MVP. The rising corner will announce his choice on his birthday, February the 19th, according to On3 Director of Recruiting, Chad Simmons. Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Tennessee are also in the mix. So again, as Charles Power says there, set to commit on his birthday, February the 19th, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. This is what he likes about Tennessee. Says Tennessee was one of my earlier offers. I've only been there once, but they have really recruited me hard. I like how they coach, train with some of the players that are going there, and wanted to get back on campus. Tennessee has been playing well, and I like that what they are doing. Chad Simmons already put in his prediction for Alabama to get the commitment next week. But again, go back to the VolQuest post, right? Chad Simmons says, hey, this is looking like it's trending towards Alabama coming up next week, but this one is going to go into the fall. What happens if the magic dynasty that Coach Saban built continues to crumble, continues to fall? What happens when their fan base gets impatient? What happens when their fan base wants to move on from Kalen DeBoer and go hire somebody else? And I hope they fall into that. I hope they fall into that 20 years of misery that we faced, where it's coach after coach after coach. But we've got our guy now. Josh Heupel is our guy, and Josh Heupel is also involved in the recruitment of Jordan Edmonds, not just Zion Gibson, but also Jordan Edmonds. This is from Ryan Callahan, update from Vols 247. Even if he commits to another school next week, and that appears likely at this point, he said he still expects to visit the Vols in the coming months. He's hoping to make it for one of their spring practices, said he plans to take an official visit to all 5 schools, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. Edmonds' only previous trip to Knoxville was the Vols' home win against Florida on October the 12th. So again, 2 similar situations here. Zion Gibson has been committed to Alabama since December the 24th, Christmas Eve. Now you've got Jordan Edmonds wanting to commit on his birthday. So why commit if you're going to take visits? I don't know. I can't explain the thought process of these kids coming out of high school. Maybe it's about a moment. I want to do it on my birthday. I want to do it on Christmas Eve. I want to do it on my mom's birthday. I want to do it on some special occasion. So maybe that's part of it. But to me, if you're planning to take spring visits and you're also planning to take official visits on top of that, Tennessee has every opportunity to continue to build that relationship with Jordan Edmonds and see if they can get him in the boat before early signing day. That's when it counts. That's when it matters. But we're going to continue to talk recruiting all day, every day, because that's what we do right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Do me a favor and smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Jump in the comment section and let's talk about it. You can go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also help us out by hitting that join button right down there below. It's only $1. We need your support throughout the offseason. We are grateful for every single one of you that donate that dollar to us every single month. But if not, jump in the comment section, smash the thumbs up because it's quick, free, and easy. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.